Loaded
Sport.
Sport.
Does he sit second, man?
No, I don't think he does. I think Kevin Keegan probably sits second.
Oh my God, what a scandal.
Austin Eckler versus the Cards. Go and fuck the lot of you.
God, Eckler.
He's making me like I'm some sort of cameo, like I've come in and go, hand out the bag, England to win.
Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Loaded Sport, where today we are going to be previewing week 15 of the NFL season. We're going to have a look at the darts getting underway just in time for Christmas, and we're going to be looking towards the final of the World Cup. To do that, I'm going to introduce Skin back to us, and as he's just introduced himself partially there, Sam, welcome back to the show.
How we doing, boys? We all right?
Yes, mate. Are you feeling better?
I'm back there. Not quite shook it off 100%, but I do appreciate you powering on without me on Monday night, on Tuesday's release. So thank you very much for that. Good show, by the way.
Enjoy it.
I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Always do, mate. Always do.
What did you think about the England/Southgate rank? Very
The
quickly.
Southwell. Who's that?
I don't know, mate. I think my illness is getting worse from earlier in the week. Southgate went viral on TikTok, mate. A lot of people seem to be agreeing with it. What's your thoughts, just quickly?
Yeah. I'm not gonna dive into it. You know, it's already been said. You covered absolutely everything. I got hammered Saturday night when I put a couple of opinions in our community chat for wanting Southgate gone. You pretty much articulated everything that I wanted to say, but I was a little bit inebriated at the time.
I can.
Yeah, I had a can. Let's put it politely. Just his inability to change games. I'm not going to bang on about it, but just the substitutions, the questionable substitution. Why on earth was Sterling even a part of the game? He'd done so much travelling. Jack Grealish just sat there. Rashford sat there. It just so many question marks, and I just think it's time to go. I've loved him. Like, I really have. You can just tell he's a proper nice bloke. He's done wonders behind the scenes. But that's my 50 pence worth. I think it's time for him to go, and you're probably going to have to look into the foreign market to get the next England manager. I would probably say more Pochettino. I wouldn't prefer Tuchel because I know Kemp and a couple of you others mentioned about Tuchel, but I don't really like the German idea of being in charge of English, and he's just so defensive.
Argentinian's better, yeah?
Argentinian's better. It's a good point, but he's had a lot more to do with English football. I know Tuchel's just so defensive. He's such a defensive coach. And I just don't think that he would get the right abilities out of the players that we currently have.
Fair one. Ag, how are you, mate?
I'm all right, thank you. I've just woke up from a nap in preparation for staying up for the Seahawks San Fran, so I'm partly tired and partly questioning all my decisions. Yeah.
Well, our US market has grown in this last week.
By 100%.
By more than that, mate. We're in the thousands technically because it was one before, and now it's pushing in the 20s about the amount of streams that we've had. So,
wow.
Yeah, we're for you guys that are just joining us, the new listeners that we're gaining off of viral content and things like that. If you want to find us on all the social platforms, just search for Loaded Sport on Facebook. If you want to join our private community forum where we talk about a variety of sports and opinions and all that kind of stuff, just search for the Loaded Sport Community Forum. Spotify, again, just search for Loaded Sport. We're rated 5 stars on there at the moment. YouTube as well, Loaded Sport. Subscribe on there if that's where you get your content.
5
Twitter,
stars at the moment. You're not
Sport.
confident there.
No, mate, I'm more than confident, but you never know, dear. It's like Uber. You get one bad review, 4.9 forever, and you can never recover.
can't recover.
Nightmare. At Loaded Sport on Twitter and at Loaded_score on on Instagram, and again at Loaded Sport on TikTok as well. So for those of you that are joining us there, they're all the platforms where you can find us. So follow where you can, whatever you've got available, and get stuck in. But yeah, I just thought I'd shout that out because we seem to have got a lot of more eyes on the product in the last few days. So just in case someone's found us at a random place, at least they know where to find us. But yeah, follow, subscribe, review, and most importantly, recommend, because at this stage, word of mouth, it's the biggest way of getting bigger. But Adam, I'll pass back to you to let you crack on with the show.
Yeah, I think there's the best place to start is the World Cup final on Sunday, which does take place between Argentina and France.
That's the big one.
I know some of us had that predicted from before the tournament started, so well done, Sam.
Mudge, thank you.
Skin, did you have France, Argentina? You didn't you?
I did, mate.
Yeah,
I had
well,
3 of
Argentina,
yourself as
but
well.
I might
3 of
surprise
us
you when we get to the prediction part shortly.
I can't believe the grief I've been given from you guys as well for the fact that I went for Brazil instead of Argentina. It's not like it was an outlandish claim either. It was
Who's giving you shit, really?
you,
Yeah, look, name one person that said anything, mate. You've just made that up
Sam.
for content.
Sam. No, Sam
You
said
are.
it. As soon as he
When?
saw when I'd got it wrong, he said, surprise.
Oh, well, no, that went slagging Brazil off. That was slagging the fact that you
Got it
are once
wrong.
again wrong about anything.
Yeah.
That's not about Brazil. I went slagging Brazil off. I was slagging you being wrong off. There's a difference there.
See, it's not like I've gone for the Vikings against the Lions again. I've gone for Brazil to make the World Cup final. That's realistic.
My
He's
point
so
being,
bitter about how we called him out and then ended up being right.
I am. I hate it.
my
Absolutely
point
hate
being,
it.
you could have picked Argentina France final. It
Yes.
wouldn't have happened. You'd have still been wrong. They would have found a way to. We'd have probably beat France at weekend. So
Are we saying that Adam's predictions are becoming a new curse? Because you've been semi-successful
No,
recently.
No.
in your
I
thoughts and
finished
predictions,
second
Sam,
last
so-
week. I finished first the week
Whoa.
before. Let's not.
it's
Mate,
going.
you got bonus points for your wildcard pick and still didn't win. That's
No,
how bad
no,
you did
no,
with the rest
no,
of
it's
it.
not that I
Nobody's
didn't
taking
win.
bragging rights for last preview show. Jesus Christ! Sorry, except for Dawson. I'll give him his dues there.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
I do. I'll dig that one out. But no, no one other than Skin can take bragging rights from that last prediction show because that was a horror show.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
bragging
I'm
rights.
looking forward to seeing what that £10 will return for you this week, depending on what Adam picks.
I'm
for
going to
his
go for
locks
something
later on.
stupid now just to be that guy. But anyway, let's move on to talking about the World Cup. Argentina against France due to take place on Sunday, but to get there, France had to get through Morocco, and we'll start by coming to you, Skin, to discuss Argentina against Croatia.
Yeah, Argentina versus Croatia. Croatia, a team rugged, dogged, committed, and disciplined. I think are very good words to describe their recent tournament form. They're a team that
You
reached
say
the
Argentina
semi.
versus Croatia.
Yeah, for the semi-final on
Okay.
Tuesday. I'll say, what was it? The final. They were runners-up 4 years ago in Russia. They got to the semi-finals this year, and including those two tournaments up till today, they have not won a knockout tournament game in 90 minutes since 1998, where they finished third in France, led by the absolute legend that is Davor Suker. So that gives you an idea of just how dogged, rugged, committed, and disciplined that they are based on that stat alone. It's like that how I've rolled that out nice and easy. So yeah, I think Croatia, again as they have been, they were well set up. They had the experience, some phenomenal players, and they looked like they were sort of in the game. It might be a bit of a tight one, but I think from when Messi scored that penalty in the top corner around half an hour-ish in, I might have got that time wrong.
Game over.
Yeah, it was pretty much game over from there. The momentum was all Argentina. Messi and Alvarez up top were phenomenal. That seems to be, they've sort of leaned towards a front three for the last sort of couple of years or so, but I think the last couple of games they've played them two up top on their own, and they've been sensational. So, wonder what Man City's future will look like. Do they look to moving towards a front two with Alvarez and Haaland up top? We'll see once we get stuck back into the domestic football next week. But yeah, it was all Argentina from that point, and Lionel Messi now has the chance to lift that trophy on Sunday, then have that image forever etched in football history. That's it, and yeah, I think that ultimately is, the conversation has always been Messi or Ronaldo, and then you talk about your Pelés, your Maradonas. Pelé only played to have won 3 World Cups. So, but again, we're talking different generations. Our generation have only ever seen highlights and clips because we were never alive in '86 when Maradona carried Argentina, or back in the '70s when Pelé was such an integral part of that phenomenal Brazil team. So, of our lifetime, it's always been Messi or Ronaldo, Messi or Ronaldo. And over the last couple of months, over the last year or so, it's started to sort of, Messi has started to get a bit of a gap between the two of them, but there will be absolutely no undeniable argument if, again, the last image that we see on the TV coverage is Messi lifting that World Cup trophy around 5 o'clock Sunday afternoon, if it is won in 90 minutes or at least into the early evening. But yeah, Argentina were clear winners in the end, and yeah, it's Messi's chance now, but we'll get into that shortly.
And Sam, go on.
I've noticed over the last couple of weeks, you say the word momentum very, very peculiar.
Okay, how do I say it?
You say it like it's got a dash in it. You say momentum. And I've never heard anyone say momentum before. And I quite like it, actually. It rolls off the tongue quite nice, but I've always thought it was momentum, not momentum. Just something I've noticed that you picked up.
Well, any comments that anyone's got, just hit us up on social media. Let us know, because that's first time hearing of it. I never knew it was an issue, good or bad. But there we go. But yes, Adam, any thoughts from you, mate? You've been, as we say, a big advocate of Messi and what they've done in the tournament. They lost their first game against Saudi Arabia, and it looked like it was going to be an absolute dud of a tournament. But they turned it around and they've won every game from there. So, what do you reckon, Aggie?
Yeah, they didn't look great in the first game, did they? And then it's just proof that even if you lose your first game in a World Cup, you can still make it all the way to the final. And
So, don't panic.
Exactly. And I think Messi's just been that sort of leader, hasn't he? That's kind of carried them through, and he's proven his worth to that team. It's going to be sad for Argentina when he does go, and what they're going to move on to next. I honestly think, when you've just mentioned there between the greats of Messi and Ronaldo, I honestly feel like at this minute, I'd favour what Portugal have got without Ronaldo over what Argentina have got without Messi. And I reckon I might get a bit of backlash from that, but that's my honest opinion. I think that Portugal will be set.
Pitchforks at your door for that, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I think
mainly because you look like Shrek, but
fucking hell.
No, I quite agree.
Is that you?
If you take both Messi and Ronaldo out of them teams, I think Portugal has a better squad than Argentina. I'd probably agree with
I would say so. Yeah, I don't think that's too outrageous to say.
That bad to say then, but no, I think for Argentina, the fact that they're in the final, having lost that first game, shows just what sort of character they've got within the side to keep on pushing and fighting to get this far against a Croatia side that I said last week that primarily what they've got is experience within the side. They've not really got many youthful players that they can rely on. Like we've mentioned plenty of times, they've got there because of that experience.
They're just a horrible team. They're a horrible, horrible team to play against, aren't they? They're just so big, gritty and in your face, and they've got that attitude about them, and they're a horrible team. That, like when they won that shootout against Holland, they're all running into Dutch face, celebrate. They've got that horrible side to them that sometimes you just need.
To be fair to them, though, if you look back at it, when Netherlands players were walking back and Argentinian players were coming forward, they were like getting in the face and giving them shit. So I know in that one picture it looks bad, but I think it was fair, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying they've got that horrible mentality about them, haven't they? And so sometimes you do need that to win a championship. So here we are.
Fair enough. Sam, what's your thoughts on the game?
Not a lot, mate. You've pretty much covered it.
Okay.
I watched it up until the penalty. As soon as the penalty went in, and I thought that'd be pretty much game over. And I kept checking in every now and again, but no. Argentina's too strong. Croatia just set in there, as Dawson mentioned about the extra time stat. They're just purely designed just to soak up as much pressure as they can, and then grind a win out by hook or by crook, whether it be extra time or penalties. And Argentina just weren't having it. They would just steamroll them in end. And yeah, I think they just had far too much firepower for them.
Fair enough. Speaking of far too much firepower, we're going to move on to one that people expected to be a bit of a rollover and may have not been quite as clear out winners for France as a lot of people predicted prior to the game. France against Morocco then in the second semi-final. France walking out 2-0 winners. Sam, I'll come to you for your opinion on this one first.
Yes. I think pretty much everyone else thought this was a foregone conclusion. It's not like a foregone conclusion. And it wasn't really, was it? Morocco, I'd probably say, was the better side, really, on the full 90 minutes. And that's Amrabat in the middle. I think he's absolutely outstanding. I think Atletico Madrid are coming in and offering. Can you imagine him and De Paul in the middle? Just
not bad, pure.
It's just a pure
Simeone tactic.
Simeone, just two horrible bastards sat there at midfield and just picking lumps out of you. But no, I thought they were really good, actually. I thought Morocco were really good. I know they lost 2-0 and it seems pretty cut and dry on the scoreline, but they definitely had the fair share of chances. They hit the post with that quality effort in first half. I don't know how they didn't get a penalty and they got booked for it on, was it Teo Hernandez again?
Yeah.
Teo Hernandez again, so it could have been 2 penalties in a row that he'd give away. And somehow the Moroccan got booked when it were a stonewall penalty. I don't know what happened there, what referee were doing, but just goes in the theme of France games and poor refereeing.
Yeah, fair enough. Skin?
Yeah, France got that early goal through the aforementioned Teo Hernandez there 5 minutes in. scoring a goal after 5 minutes in a World Cup semi-final is always going to do you well. You can change your tactics, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You look at England in the Euros final against Italy last year, got that early goal and didn't attack, but ultimately it paid off for France with that strong squad they've got. They're now in back-to-back finals. So, yeah, fair play to Morocco. First African side to ever get to a semi-final. Their journey has been absolutely brilliant. We've spoken about them already, and the legacy of their manager with the short amount of time that he's been in that role. So, yeah, but can't fault them. But like Sam said, that scoreboard makes it look like a pretty cut and dry, comfortable win. But certainly wasn't the case. But again, that's full credit to Morocco and what they've done. They knocked out Spain, they knocked out Portugal, and they gave France a pretty hard time in the semi-final as well. So
beat Belgium.
Beat Belgium as well, of course. And yeah, look, they're going to be disappointed this morning. Of course they are, because they got that close. But long-term, big picture, they're going to be proud of what they achieved. So yeah, fair play to them.
They've got to, because I think that was the first loss in this tournament as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
it
so
was.
To go all the way through that, considering who they had in their group as well, is outstanding. So a lot of credit to them. So looking
brilliant.
at the final between, in fact, we'll go for the third place playoff. We'll build up a little bit more for the final. Morocco against Croatia.
Head game.
What's the prediction?
Tell you what, is there a bigger correlation between dead game and biggest tournament in the world as the third place playoff?
This could have been the final, mate. This could have been the final.
Yeah,
shocking, absolutely shocking. Third place playoff game for me shouldn't exist. I don't know who it's for.
I think it is for let's look at the lineup: Croatia versus Morocco, especially Morocco as well. Like that opportunity to go out on a high. You look at other lineups. 2002 was Turkey against South Korea. Croatia got third place back in '98 when they finished third in France. So I think for this sort of, I don't want to say smaller countries, but you get my point. Those outside of the top teams, the pre-tournament favourites, I think it is a bit more of an occasion for them. But you look at 4 years ago, England versus Belgium. Why? What was the point? England may as well have not turned up for that game. But yeah, I think one of the best third place playoffs they've ever been was that Turkey versus South Korea game. So I think in terms of on the field quality, I think there is a possibility or the potential for a good game because of the two teams that are there. Croatia are now sort of at the point of they're heading into a new generation, so they'll want to go out on a high. And Morocco naturally will want to go out as the third place team in the tournament. So I think it's a great opportunity for a good game, but I just think that the occasion as a whole is a little bit like you don't really care. Like we didn't care 4 years ago.
No, but it's just like this season, this World Cup of all World Cups, smack bang in the middle of a season. It's a game that doesn't need to be played. Luka Modric is 35, 36. He's going back to Madrid now. He's going to need to put
6'5", 6'6", built like a ton of bricks.
Mertesacker. No, he's going back to Madrid, isn't he? He's got a Champions League campaign to crack out. He's got a La Liga title to play for. He's surely not going to... I don't even think he'd probably start, does he? Really? I certainly, if I were the Madrid manager, I wouldn't be... I'd begin the Croatia manager, a little nudge saying, does he have to play? Can you look at future and maybe start playing some of your youth in this game? Because it's that sort of game where it means nothing, especially to a person like Modric, and who's been there and won, everything. He's even won a Ballon d'Or, for God's sake. Yeah. Does this third place playoff game mean a great deal to him and them sort of players? Realistically, you ask him, he'll probably say he's there to win it all.
Yeah, definitely.
So this third place, I'm personally dead against it. I think it's an absolute waste. I get what you're saying, for a team like Morocco, maybe, but all them players, Hakimi obviously is playing for Morocco. All these Ziyech, they're all playing for top clubs, and I just don't think the managers, certainly them top clubs, will be wanting them stars to play in these games.
There we go then. Can I get a score prediction from you, Sam?
For the third place game, fucking hell.
I feel like I asked the question, so I feel like I've got to stand by it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair, but honestly, pluck it from wherever you want. I'm going to say...
Asshole.
I'm going to say 1-0 Morocco. Why not?
Right, Skin?
Two teams that, again, Croatia, like Sam said, soak up the pressure and take it to extra time. Morocco aren't conceding goals. I will go 1-1 and a Morocco win on penalties.
I love how you just said the teams involved, it looks like it could be a good game. And then you say Morocco don't concede goals in Croatia, play for extra time. That's fucking brilliant, that, mate.
I know, completely contradicted myself. But depending on the result, I'll just take that clip and post that online to make it sound like I knew what I was talking about.
Why not? What result you went for?
1-1 and Morocco on penalties.
Nice. I'd take a
Aggie,
penalty
what about
shootout. Did they do extra time in this game?
Yeah.
Surely
I'd have
not.
thought so.
It just follows extra time and penalties. I never really see it go to extra time, though, do you? In third place
That'd be crazy if they do extra time in these games. Crazy.
There you go. I'm going to go with
together, it's pointless.
2-1 to Morocco against.
Morocco all round.
Yeah. Morocco to beat Croatia by 2-1. So let's look at the final then. The one that has a lot of interest
There we go.
already.
This is it.
Argentina against France. Skin, I'll start with you on this one.
Messi versus Mbappe. The World Cup holders against the legacy cementers, potentially. It's going to be a big game. The World Cup is the most watched sport occasion every single time it's on. It does incredible viewing figures across the world. And it's going to be a great occasion. It's France's opportunity to become the first team since the late 50s / early 60s, I believe, to go back-to-back as World Cup winners. And it's Argentina's chance to absolutely, as I said there, cement the legacy of their, possibly behind or alongside Maradona, their greatest player of all time. So Messi has had a very complicated relationship with his national team. He grew up playing for Barcelona in their academy and has had all the success in the world with that club as well. Argentina have not had the success.
Spain, weren't he?
Yeah, Argentina haven't had the success that they would hope with a player like Messi in their team, and have the backlash towards Messi personally because of that has been, again, as I mentioned, they're very complicated at times. So the relationship has got back on track over the last couple of years, especially with the recent Copa America win, and they're back fully on the same side of the field. So yeah, it's going to be a massive game. I really can't predict it. Pre-tournament, I picked France to beat Argentina in the final, but I really can't call it. I really can't, but I suppose that's the point of a World Cup final. It's going to be hard to call it 9 times out of 10, but it should be a great game, a great spectacle, and ultimately everything that you would want for an occasion that is the World Cup final.
Okay. Sam?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything he said, isn't it? It's Messi versus Mbappe. I think Argentina are going to have a bit too much for France, personally. I think defensively, Argentina have looked pretty good so far. I don't think there's been many games where they've been flapping that much.
Yeah.
They haven't looked great going forward in some games, but they've just looked solid, like at the back. And I think they're going to have a bit too much for France here. France haven't looked good defensively for me. I've been really surprised over the last few games, especially England and Morocco games. Morocco especially, really. England, we all know we had some good, cracking attacking quality that could hurt any team on the day. But
Yeah.
Morocco really got at them, and they were. I don't know how they didn't score, to be honest. They should have had a penalty. They've hit post, and France are definitely there to be got at, and I think Argentina will pick them apart. And I'll give you my score prediction right now.
Oh, it's committing.
I'm committing because this was as well as it was Dawson's, this was our pre-tournament tip for the final. We both called France-Argentina final.
Yeah, as did Mudge.
Yep, shout out our boy Mudge. And I also predicted on the score, I predicted it to be 2-0 Argentina, and I am not going to budge.
You're sticking.
I'm sticking, mate. I've seen enough to back myself up there. Defensively, like I say, Argentina, I think they're quite good. France defensively haven't looked good, and I just think it could be two clinical finishers, possibly from the goat in waiting, however you want to call him.
Yeah.
And I think Argentina are going to do them.
I'll just quickly give you my score prediction then, seeing as you've given yours. And again, pre-tournament, France over Argentina. I didn't have a score in mind, but that's what I went with, and I am going to budge. I'm going to do it.
Ooh.
I'm going to commit to jumping away from my pre-tournament prediction, and I am going to go 1-1 after 90 minutes, and Argentina win 4-2 on penalties.
Ooh.
And again, that closing image on whatever TV coverage you're watching across the world is Lionel Messi holding up the Jules Rimet trophy and cementing his legacy as the greatest football player of ours or any other lifetime. Aggie, what are you going for?
I think you love a penalty shootout.
Just hanging for it.
Everything's a
mate,
draw and
who
someone's going to win on
done?
penalties.
As long as we're not in it, it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
Doesn't matter to me then. I started by going for Brazil to beat France. France to beat Brazil in the final. Then France got loads of injuries, so I went for Brazil to beat France.
You're not budging from that either.
No, I'm sticking by Brazil winning. No, I'm going to go with Argentina. Similar to what you both have said, that they've just got too much firepower against France, and I think it's written that it's going to be Messi. He lifts the trophy, he wins the big one for Argentina, and then he retires from international football. And I think he can finish on top there, can't he? He's got a great opportunity. And France, I think, in comparison to Argentina, especially when we played France, they didn't look like anything special. We took the game to them. They didn't look like a side that was going to be worthy champions. They got the win and they managed to slug it out, and I think that's all you can probably say for them. Against Morocco took the game to them and they struggled a little bit there. I think Argentina, since that defeat, have just had so much behind them and momentum behind them to be able to push forward. And I think against France, they're just going to be too strong for them. I've got a 1-0 win for Argentina, but it really wouldn't surprise me if there were another couple of goals in Argentina's favour there. Like you say, France are poor defensively. Lloris has got at least a mistake in him.
As Kemp'd say, got one in him.
He's got a mistake waiting for him. So I'm going to go with Argentina to beat France. And if you're going to make me put a score, I'm going to put 1-0.
We are going to make you, mate. Always.
Well,
and none of us have even mentioned the fan support. What that atmosphere is going to be like in that fight. It's going to be about probably 80% Argentinian. It's going to be like a South American game.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to bring the noise. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere, I think. I can't wait for the national anthem.
Yeah. Let's have it. Sunday, 3 p.m. Whatever TV coverage you want to watch across the world, I'll be BBC One for the great Guy Mowbray. But whether you get Sam Matterface on our TV, whether you get Peter Drury if you're watching over in the US or any other part of the world, then it should be a classic. But yeah, I think a lot of people want Messi to lift it because if anyone deserves to, I think you'd be hard to argue against it being him. So yeah, let's have it.
I have to agree with that. Let's move on to the locks of the week then. And the wildcard predictions.
Have you done the draw?
I have done the draw.
Does he?
I haven't done the draw. I haven't done the draw. I haven't. Now, normally what I do is just pick somebody. But moving forward, when there's more than three of us, I'll do a draw so it's fair. But on this occasion, Skin, as you won last week, you're going to go last because I think that works best in like the sort of draft format. So, Sam, we're going to start with you this week. You can go first with your team, lock team of the week.
Thank you very much. I just think going forward as well, it makes sense just doing a snake draft, doesn't it? So whoever gets the first pick gets the last pick on the next lot. So, who am I going with? I think I am going to go with Sheffield Wednesday, who are currently third in the League One. They're at home to Oxford. I'm going for Sheffield Wednesday. Oxford are 16th currently, and I'm going to go for Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday unbeaten in the last 5, and they've actually won the last 3. And Oxford only won 1 in the last 5. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Sheffield Wednesday at home to see out Oxford.
Nice. I'm going to go with a very safe bet here, and I think I've been with these a couple of times. I'm going to go with Sheffield United to beat Wigan.
Oh.
Sheffield United second in the Championship, Wigan third bottom. I think Sheffield United are going to be just too good for them, and I think they've even got a lead over third place at the moment. That league's between Burnley and Sheffield United at the moment.
Away, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think it's Monday night.
Away Monday night, 8 o'clock.
So don't like away games, do we?
No, you don't.
No, I can't back them. Make me feel uneasy.
Never do.
So there we go. I'm going Sheffield United to beat Wigan as my lock of the week. Skin.
Fair enough. Well, I'm not going to go for Sheffield FC to complete the Sheffield treble.
Trifecta.
That's the one that I was thinking of trifecta, but I bottled on saying it, so I'm glad you did. But mainly because the league they play doesn't fall within our remit. So who I am going to go for is the team that is currently top of
Can
League
I get a
remit? Top of League 2, and that is Leyton Orient at home to Sutton United. Leyton Orient have won their last 3 games. Sutton in the worst of forms. They've won 2 and drawn one of their last 4 games. So by no means in the worst of form, but I think Leyton Orient, where they are in the table, like I said, they've got 48 points from 20 games. They've got 25 points out of a possible 30 for their home games. Sutton United are towards the bottom in the away league, and in terms of form, Leyton Orient last 5 league games scored 8, conceded 3, 12 points, and Sutton United again 7 points from 5, so not horrendous, but they've only scored 3. So I think Leyton Orient are a solid pick for lock of the week, and I'm going to go for them in my last man standing as well, of which I am one of the final 3 entrants. So
nice.
If they get a win, that'll make me very, very happy. So yeah, they're my lock of the week this week.
Nice one. I got them as my backup, so I 100% agree with that one. Skin, then we'll stay with you for the player.
For the player, mate, yeah. So my scorer of the week, I thought, do I go for the World Cup final? Do I back an Mbappe or Giroud? Do I back a Messi? Or, go for the fancy pick? But the aim of the game is to try and get as many right. And I'm not as confident in those as I am for the person that I've picked. And that person is Danny Johnson of Walsall. I'm not going to pretend that I'm an absolute knowledge machine in terms of what Walsall do. But again, they're a team in good form, very good form. In fact, they've won 6 out of the last 7 games. Sorry, they're flying at home. They've won the last 4 at home as well. And Danny, I can't remember his last name. That's how much knowledge I've got. Danny Johnson currently sits on 11 goals for Walsall this season. He scored 2 in his last 3 after a little bit of slow form. So it looks like a rejuvenation in his form is parallel to Walsall's climb up the table as well. So I think a Walsall win and a goal or 2 from Danny Johnson should secure me a point in Monday's review show. So yeah, I'll go with him for my score of the week.
Thank you. I've gone down into the National League for this, or a National League side.
This week, is it?
But it's the FA Trophy fixture.
Dear.
Trophy.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Do Mr. Skin.
Tell me now, and I'll switch it to the other one if you want.
I'm not a fan of it.
No.
And I think we've got to have some kind of structure, haven't we? I think we've got to have top, 4
Premier League
leagues.
to National League, and then World Cup, and what we've been going with.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe 2 domestic cups potentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll steer away from.
Just call it, just so you can say I told you so.
I'd gone for Macaulay Langstaff for Notts County.
Okay, fair.
Him, yeah.
No, you can't have him.
Instead, then I'm going to go with my backup, which is Messi against France.
Oh, he's great,
okay.
Messi.
Like it.
In the World Cup final, I was considering whether to go for him or for Langstaff.
Shit.
And
I don't think you can, mate.
Why?
Because after this segment, I was going to read Mudge's out, and he's backed him. Mudge put his in a long time ago. To be fair,
right. I need a plan C then.
Go
to Sam.
It's scramble. Fuck that. Scramble. I'll jump in. Adam's scrambling here. So who we gone for? Goal scorer. So I've gone for my boy James Collins of Derby to score against Forest Green. Reason being, I was quite annoyed last week because I picked Ollie McBurney to score Sheffield United. Didn't really realise he was still coming back from injury. He only come on, played a bit part, and that was it. He didn't play a lot at all. The annoying thing is, I always do a wild card, and I'll have a backup. I'll have a lock, and I'll have a backup, and I'll have a scorer, and I'll have a backup. James Collins was my backup, and I was so close to saying him ahead of McBurney, and guess what? He fucking scored as well. So not only should I have backed him, I know that's pretty much it. I should have backed him. So, I'm backing him this week. I'm doubling down on him. James Collins to score at home for Derby against Forest Green. The vegan bastards.
Welcome to any of our new listeners that may be vegan. You're entitled to your opinion, but we do prefer meat. But,
yeah. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Aggie, you can have fucking Messi. Jesus.
Nah, it's not.
I've got one. It's fine. I don't want to get in the way if Mudge has already chose him. I didn't see that. But I'm going to go with Josh Sargent, the second top goal scorer in the Championship.
Say yes, sir!
I'm going to go
with my eardrums, man.
And having just checked the fixture, I'm now less confident in that. But I've gone for him. I'm going to back him. Norwich against Blackburn, 4th against 3rd in the Championship. And he's the second top goal scorer in the Championship. So
that's not saying much. Have you seen the state of the top scorer leaderboard for the Championship?
Because Sheffield United's Cam in it, leading it.
Mate,
there's a group of them in there. There's like 8 of
10
them.
players.
10.
Yeah, there's 10 players on 9 goals, and then like 3 on 8, and then like 3 on 7, loads on 6. And
no
5.
one's running away with it.
No, absolutely not.
There's no Mitrovic this year.
No Mitrovic scoring about 67 goals. So yeah, Fair enough, Aggie. I mean, I personally would have given you a Messi. And
Not
I'll...
having it. Not having it. You can,
No,
fucking,
mate,
you
I
can scramble with
appreciate
your little bitch.
Yeah, but if Fudging is not here, is he? But it is what it is anyway.
No, it's true, but I'm just about to blast through his now after I've finger blasted you. So Mudge's lock
Just
of the
before you
week-
do we want to
Go
go
on.
through wildcard first?
Oh yes, of course, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll do wildcard first, and then I'll announce it. We'll go for it.
Good shout. We'll start with you then on the wildcard.
Yeah. So my wildcard, I have gone for Wickham Wanderers, 9th placed, to beat first placed Ipswich at home.
Ooh.
Ipswich have won 1 in 4. Wickham have only lost once in the last 5. And I'm backing Wickham at home to beat the league leaders Ipswich for the wild card.
That's 2 out of the last 3 weeks, isn't it? Aggie, you had Fleetwood a couple of weeks ago to beat Ipswich. So, despite them being top of the table, you lads are fancying them.
Didn't come in though, did it?
No, they got a point.
drew, yeah.
But,
Yeah. I've gone into originally I was going for Morocco to beat Croatia, but considering the fact that all 3 of us have kind of backed Morocco in the predictions, I'm not sure if that's really going to go down as a wild card anymore, is it?
Well, that's what Mudge
it's
has
too
got.
much of a dead game.
Oh, for
isn't it?
fuck's sake! Right, okay.
Fucking hell!
I'm going to go on to the next one then. Forest Green to beat Derby is what I'm going for.
Oh, is it?
Go on, Sam, have at him.
Fucking horrible bastard you are. Why? Give me some stats. Come on, why?
Honestly, mate, the reason why is because I can't find a running back to score against the Green Bay Packers. I've gone this way instead.
Yeah, Rams, aren't they? That's next segment.
There we go. Now I'm going to go with Forest Green, 21st place in League One against Derby, who are currently in 7th place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbeaten in the last 5, Derby are, but you know what I mean. To be fair, they have won 1 in the last 5. They've drawn 4, won 1. But Forest Green, looking at them, they've not won in 3. So, yeah, I fancy Derby at home, to be honest. I think we should beat them quite comfortably, which only pours more confidence into your prediction, I guess.
I mean, Forest Green have won. They won against Cheltenham last Saturday, Cambridge the week before, drew with Cheltenham before that. They're unbeaten in the last 5.
That's not the same Forest Green I'm looking at. Yeah, last 5. You're looking at cup games. I'm looking at league games.
Okay, so they won the last 2 league games back to back.
We're still talking about Forest Green.
Yep. Beat Cheltenham 1-0, beat Cambridge 2-1 just before that. So I'm standing by it. I'm going to go Forest Green to beat Derby. They've won more in the last 5 than Derby. I've even looking at league fixtures. So I'm going to go with that. Skin?
For my wildcard this week, I'm going to League One, and I am going for Shrewsbury to beat Peterborough. Peterborough at home and currently in the playoffs, but they are in shocking form. They have lost 6 out of their last 7 games. Shrewsbury have won their last 3 games, so find a little bit of form after they were struggling for a little bit themselves. Yeah, that's it. Momentum. Just say it, just for Sam to clock how I say it. So yeah, looking at the stats, I'm surprised to see Shrewsbury at 3-1, but I think that's just league placings and the fact that Peterborough at home. But yeah, I think getting 3-1 for a team that have won their last 3 in a row to beat a team that have lost 6 out of the last 7, you've got to take that. So yeah, that's my pick for my wild card this week.
Nice one. Sam, I'll let you go through Mudgers now.
Okay. So, with Mudgers, he has gone for his lock of the week being Argentina. He's gone for wild card being Morocco and the goal scorer, Messi. So he's going to complete World Cup affair here. I think our boy is going to struggle once the World Cup's done. Once he's got to get into the slums of League One and League Two for his predictions.
No, mate, he will go Premier League no matter what. He is from London. He has no idea what's going on outside London in football. So it will purely stick to Premier League football no matter what.
Top scorer, goal scorer Haaland every single week.
Yeah, every single week without fail to win Man City.
What's thoughts on, after our discussion, Argentina being his lock?
It's I mean, bold.
Yeah, he's doubling down on his pre-tournament prediction of Argentina beating France. So that's his reasoning behind it. But look, fair play to him. Sam, are you going to be including that in your locks of the week, or are you going to be going for your sixfold?
This is it, you see. So I'm just pricing it up now as we speak, and I'm looking on one of my betting apps. I won't name which one until they give us a sponsorship. As a fourfold as of right now, it's coming in at 17.62 to 1 for locks. Okay. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Normally, you're looking at about 6 to 1 for our entire locks. Like normally, 8 locks, 4. plus 4 NFL locks, and it's already given me 17.5 to 1. So that's just with purely Sheffield United to win, Sheff Wednesday to win, Leyton Orient to win, and Argentina 17.6 to 1.
Are you going Argentina to win in 90 minutes, or are you going to
Wow.
bottle it and just have them to lift trophy?
I think that's the bet, isn't it? I don't think I'm going to miss out too much if I just put Argentina to lift the trophy. I think that'll probably be the better option.
Fair enough. We'll be back in just a few moments' time when we start to look forward to the dart. Welcome back to episode 13 of Loaded Sport, where we now turn our attention to the World Darts Championship at the Ali Pali.
Come on.
Let's have it. Ali Pali, we're back. Sorry, go on, mate.
No, mate, I was just about to pass it over to you, so there you go. You take it away.
I'm going straight off the back of that, am I?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have it. So, yes, the return of the World Darts Championship at Alexandra Palace in London. It's been a tournament and a sport that I loved for many years in my teenage years and 20s, and then COVID arrived in 2020 and darts started to be played in empty arenas or empty buildings or whatever you want to call it, and quite honestly it wasn't the same. You know, darts and the atmosphere makes the tournaments, makes the games, makes the moments, and not having that had a big effect on my fandom of the sport. That was reignited slightly when I went to the Premier League darts in May. Was a really good evening. Again, good atmosphere, good night of action, and I've not watched anywhere near what I used to. It used to be a case of every tournament that was on the telly I was watching and every game I was watching, but hopefully get some time stuck into this World Championships and really get stuck back in. Your pre-tournament favourites, as you would expect, really. You've got Michael van Gerwen as the favourite, Gerwin Price, who's in fantastic form at the moment, a second favourite. And then my pick is the joint second favourite, Michael Smith. Now, Michael Smith is a phenomenal talent. He's done very well over the years in terms of how far he's got into tournaments. He burst onto the scene when he was much younger, and he looked like a future world champion. But his legacy at the minute is sort of what he's known as at the minute is that person that gets far but never gets over the line. But last month he won his first PDC major title. He won the Grand Slam of Darts, and that is now seen as he's finally got that weight off his shoulders. Yeah, he's got a taste for it. He's finally got that sort of mantra, that name off his back now of being the bottle job of darts out of that sort of top tier of players. So he's my pick to go on and win. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into this tournament. The fans are back, the energy's back. So I'm hoping to see a really good tournament. But it's open. There's a lot of young players who are starting to come in form. You look at players like Luke Humphries, who's only 14 to 1, Josh Brock, 16 to 1. You know, players that have sort of come from sort of looking like journeymen that have really hit form over the last 12 to 18 months. So Johnny Clayton, those kind of players. You've obviously got your big names that I haven't mentioned, your Peter Wrights, those kind of players that are always there or thereabouts. That's it, snake bite. But yeah, my pick for this tournament, Aggie, is I'm gonna put my name to Michael Smith. Like I said, he broke the duck by winning the Grand Slam of Darts last month. So I'm confident that now's his time, and he's going to be known as Michael Smith, Darts World Champion. But have you got any thoughts on it, Aggie? Or
no, not really. I mean, there's not too much that I've been really keeping up with darts. So to the extent that what you've just gone through, I probably won't be able to discuss the same.
Fair enough, mate. I know earlier you were mentioning, like, was Phil Taylor still sort of on top form or anything like that?
Yeah.
But he retired a number of years ago, mate.
I used to enjoy watching the Taylor Barnabell battles. So yeah, that's where you.
I don't even know why we're talking about the PDC and the energy and the atmosphere with Aggie. He's more of a BDO man. For those of you that are listening that are a BDO fan, you know, BBC coverage, absolutely dead crowd. Yeah, Deadwood, golf claps for a fucking 9-darter and stuff like that. So I think that's more Aggie scene. So when the World Championship comes around next year, I'm sure he'll have a feature length.
He's
feature length.
He's going to stand there, his feature length, knocking one out over fucking BDO.
So yeah, that's more Aggie's field. But yeah, I'm putting my name. I'll commit to putting the Loaded Sport name on Michael Smith lifting the trophy
Like it.
New Year's Day.
Nice.
Sam, you seem to be getting a bit involved with this. What are your thoughts heading
No,
into
zero.
favourites?
Absolutely zero. That
He's part of. He's part of.
I'm hype man, mate.
He's Barney Army, isn't he? He's all over Raymond van Barneveld.
I'm hype man. I'll just chip in here and there, but I darts in for me. I don't particularly mind watching it, to be honest, but I couldn't know the chess pieces involved.
We'll be discussing chess.
The chess pieces involved. Fucking hell. I might as well sign off now.
No, I tell you what, you don't get that level of punditry on your Talk Sports and your Sky Sports. So you can only get that kind of stuff on Loaded Sports. So don't go anywhere. Like I said, follow us on all the places that I mentioned earlier. This is the level of punditry and analysis that you're going to get as you
Cutting
follow us
edge
on our podcasting journey. Yeah, that's absolutely it. But yeah, Aggie, I appreciate you giving me 5 minutes or so to talk about the Darts World Championship. Like I said, not as much passion for the sport as I used to, but I'm hoping that this tournament will really reignite, relight my fire, as Take That once said.
relight my fire.
Beautiful harmonies. But I think it's time to get stuck into week 15 of the NFL, isn't it?
Welcome back to episode 13 of Loaded Sport.
Da, 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 da.
I don't know why every time you're trying to do that, it sounds more and more like Flight of the Valkyries.
Da, 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 da.
Well, bit better that time.
With
There
the
you
number
go.
one pick of the ugly draft, Adam Marsden as
Fuck off.
select.
No mudge, but I'm still getting the grief. What's
He's
going
got
on?
Shrek and he's got Ugly Draft. Fucking my goodness. Poor guy.
Horrible
Brilliant.
bastard.
Poor
Right,
guy.
let's move on.
Let's go.
Thursday night football so far this season has thrown up a lot of games that leave a lot to be desired. Have been very poor decisions, but at
Amazon
the time
want
of
their money
recording,
back, don't they?
yeah, I'm sure they will do as well, to be fair. Looking at tonight's game, or at the time of recording, what is tonight's game? The Seahawks against the San Francisco 49ers. I've been that guy that thought it was going to be quite an interesting game and booked the next day off work. I'm still going to stay up and watch it as a Seahawks fan, but I think I have lost a lot of expectation in this game, despite the fact that Purdy's now going to be starting there on the third quarterback. He played very, very well against the Bucs last week. I think we're still going to get beaten. I'm not sure if you guys would echo that. I think Sam definitely will echo that, actually, considering the fact that I know you're going to bring this up at some point, so I may as well do it for you. When Jimmy G went down injured, I made the comment that I felt that the Seahawks was then the favourites for the NFC West. To do that, we've got to win games like this, and looking at our remaining schedule, it's not looking good for us anyway. But your comment was that you felt that San Fran have really kind of got used to different quarterbacks, so along those lines, wasn't it?
Exactly that, mate. Exactly that. You and Mudge had a lovely little discussion, as you do, saying, I think now that Garoppolo's gone down, I think it's a foregone conclusion. I think Seattle are going to win it. And it was me that said, hold your fucking horses, boys. The Niners are used to playing without QB1. They'll win. I've already used this term once tonight. By hook or by crook. They've got great defense, good offensive line, and they always find a way to win in December when it matters. And look what's happening. Your boys have fell out of the playoffs, and it's theirs to lose.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a game that we probably should have won as well against the Panthers on paper, should I say? But Skin, you'd got them down as your wild card, so fair enough.
Great
I think there
call.
was always that sort of expectation that we would start to crumble ever so slightly. So yeah, that's the Thursday night game. Moving on to
What's your prediction, Aggie?
I don't like making
Can we do
predictions.
predictions?
I think we're going to lose. That's it. I'm not going to do any score predictions. I don't like to do any sort of like backing of my own team or anything, so I try and avoid this.
But if you think you're going to lose, you're not going to be backing them.
No,
Yeah,
like any
so-
the team that involves a game that involves the team that I support is what I mean. I don't bet on England. I don't bet on Chesterfield. I don't bet on the Seahawks.
Okay, well, just like you say, we are in the UK, so Aggie has got a nice 1:15 a.m. kickoff to stay up for. He has had a nice little nap before we started recording this to get ready. But Seattle Seahawks, mate, despite the great start to the season they have lost 3 out of the last 4 games. San Francisco in the last have won their last 5. The last 2 games they've played Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Miami Dolphins, 2 very strong teams in the NFL. and they've won those 2 games by a combined gap of 44 points. The game before that, they shut out the New Orleans Saints. The game before that, they beat the Arizona Cardinals by 28 points. So you're playing them at the wrong time, baby. So you might be in for a very rough night, staying up till about 4 a.m. watching that. But I think San Fran, I'm really going to push Boat out and say they win by at least 21. Sam, what about
Wow. Wow. 20 by 21?
at least 21.
Oh, mother.
Mate,
No,
they've beat the Bucks and Miami by 44 points combined, their last 2 games. And Arizona, they beat by 28. They shut out New Orleans. I know aren't the best offensive team, so I'm really going out. San Fran are in the form of their season so far. I changed my pick mid-season for them to them representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. I'm going to stick to that despite Brock Purdy coming in, who I said a couple of weeks ago was the locker room was behind, and he showed that so far. So yeah, San Francisco by at least 21 points.
To be fair, when we played them,
when I say the word questionable, I am of course referring to Mr. Purdy. He has been questionable for the last few days. It looks like he will be playing, but he is not going to be 100%.
Who's the backup these days?
Pass.
Purdy.
I think you're going into a deep dive there. I think he's probably a punter or something like that.
Might be CMC. He's had a passing.
Could be. Loves a little play about with the balls, doesn't he?
Oh
no, I am going to go with the 49ers, despite him being questionable, Purdy. I don't think it's going to be by the margin you think, and I think it will be a pretty competitive game. I think DK is going to get.
Josh Johnson is the backup quarterback for
Johnson,
San
Jesus
Francisco.
Christ. You're digging deep there, aren't you? No, I think Niners will win. I think they've got enough with the running backs, and I think Purdy, if you just ask him to be a game manager, I think they will have enough. I don't think it's going to be by 21. I think it'll one score, I'm going to say. A one-score game.
Fair enough. Well, Aggie's a little pussy and won't put his name to a score, so let's move on to
I'm fine with that.
Sam's discussion point.
It's not really so much a discussion point. I was just thinking, my boys, Packers, we're playing Monday night, of course, against the Rams. Now, if I'm telling you pre-season, we've got Packers-Rams, Monday night football, what are you thinking?
Playoff implications, baby.
Playoff implications. We're on what, week 15. It's at Lambeau. It's going to be cold. It's just a classic pre-playoff kind of game. And just look at the state of both teams. It's an absolute.
It should be an NFC Championship preview, shouldn't it? That's the headline.
Yeah,
but
the caliber of teams should well be defending champions against the Packers, who should be looking to bounce back from last year's early playoff exit, and it just hasn't happened for them at all. Packers at 5-8, Rams are even worse, 4-9. We are still in the hunt, and you know what? I think we could get a late push to making a backdoor entrance for playoffs. I kind of believe that, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think we've hit a couple of players have hit some very good form at right time. I'm looking at Christian Watson. He's been the guy that we've needed him to be. That we needed that after Devontae left. We needed that rookie receiver that's going to step up and get them touchdowns. I think he's on 9 touchdowns, and he's a rookie. Unbelievable that is. And he didn't score a touchdown for like first 5 or 6 weeks. If you remember, week 1 he had that drop first play at season. And who was it against Vikings? And then we ended up getting blown out.
Oh,
but yes, it's just disappointing really when you think of a fixture like that, Packers Rams, and it's just got absolutely no playoff implications whatsoever under the lights. I just think it's a bit of a waste myself.
So I just want to ask you, surrounding Green Bay, there was rumour a couple of weeks ago that Jordan Love requests a trade if Aaron Rodgers is to stay in Green Bay next season. I know over the past few years, obviously, you've been a fan of Rodgers, understandably so, but this year you've kind of thought maybe it's time to move on. This is kind of that extra little kick to Green Bay to say it is time to move on, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. We all know Rodgers, best case scenario, I think he's going to be there for 2 years. I think that realistically he's going to be there for 2 years, I'd say, best case. Purely down to the fact that his cap is such a hit on us. Even after he's left, we're still going to be paying in dead cap money. So we're not going to I don't think we are going to trade him now. I think it's just going to cost us too much money to shift him. And especially if he retires. If he retires, that's probably going to be the worst outcome for us. So we've really got ourselves up shit creek here because Jordan Love has shown flashes of, I won't say greatness because it's definitely not greatness. He's shown flashes of being a capable QB in the NFL. He's also shown flashes of being absolutely shocking. So it's a massive gamble. It's also the reason why we've probably got 5 wins now, and we could essentially tank the rest of the season, and it's going to be a healthy QB draft coming up. So there's always that to play. If we do trade him, get some draft capital in, and maybe look to make a play in the draft. But it's the decision's coming up sooner rather than later now with Rodgers, and I really don't know the answer because it's not as simple as do we trade him, do we cut him, because cutting him's out of the question, but getting nothing back. But I don't know. It's a $1 million question you've asked me there, and I just don't really know the answer to it at the minute. Jordan Love, he deserves a shot. He definitely deserves a shot in the NFL. Whether it's with us or not, I'm not so sure.
Fair enough. Skin, we'll move on to discussing your boys now against Vegas Raiders.
Vegas Raiders.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby. It is Josh McDaniels playing against his former team, a team that he was very successful with as offensive coordinator, facing a team and a quarterback that wants absolutely nothing to do with his current offensive coordinator, Mac Jones, screaming at Matt Patricia, waving him off and calling his own plays and leading Patriots to a win against Cardinals on Monday night. So, yeah, I've said it before and I'm sticking to it and it's coming out. I said this weeks and weeks and weeks ago, and now the whole world is starting to see it on TV coverage. Matt Patricia is a defensive coach and it baffles me. I said it at the start of the season. Why, for a quarterback who was the best year one quarterback of his class last year, in year 2, in such an important point, and a quarterback, or for that matter, any player's development after such a successful year 1, are we giving him a defensive guy as his offensive coordinator? And we are now seeing how that is playing with Mac's development and his mindset. Hate it.
You could see it coming, couldn't you? A mile off. In the whole off season, it was just question marks over your boys' coaching staff and who's running the offense. Every single interview Belichick were doing it. So who's running the offense? Who's running the offense?
Oh, it's a bit of everyone.
A bit of everyone. But, I'll be at the end of the day, it comes down to myself. I'll be making the final decisions. That's not what the question you're being asked. We want to know who's making the ins and outs, the day-to-day decisions of that offense. That won't be you. And it's crazy what he's done. But the experience that guy has, it's just to not get that kind of shit sorted out. It's an offensive coordinator. It's not a difficult job for him to assign an offensive coordinator. There's your man. That's your job. Please get on with it. I want nothing to do with it. I'm a defensive coach. That should have been it. But for some reason, is give it a defensive coordinator. It's unheard of in the NFL. A defensive coordinator calling the offense. And I do feel sorry for Mac Jones. I really must say that. As you rightfully said, it was the best out of the rookie QBs last year. It wasn't brilliant by any stretch,
but not exciting.
Exactly that. Exactly that. Not exciting at all. But he's one of them. You stick him in a San Fran offense, it'd be brilliant because he'll game manage it all day. He won't turn ball over, but he's not going to go deep. He's not going to, he's not going to take your tech lid off a defense so much. But it can pick a defense apart. And like you say, year 2 for an NFL quarterback is probably the most important season in their careers, I'd say, for development. Because you look at Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence last year in his rookie year, they may as well have written it off because it was an absolute joke. The things he had to deal with behind the scenes, it was a joke. Year 2, all of a sudden, we're seeing this thing that we're seeing glimpses here. What we should have seen, coming out of college, it was supposed to be as good as Andrew Luck, on that kind of level. We're starting to see some flashes that is shown in this that year 2 development that he's being
Justin
given.
Fields as well. The exact
Fields,
same.
Fields exactly the same. Year 2, it's always year 2 where you start seeing they've got the intangibles to make these plays. Whereas I do feel for your boy Mac there because I think he's regressed compared to last season, and it is because of injuries as well. But he's just having to deal with a similar shit show that Lawrence had to deal with last year.
Yeah, I mean, look, they've still won 3 out of their last 5, but again, it's just hard. Like rumors over this last week or 2 have started to come out that the potential for the return of Tom Brady for a season, to see his career out, could happen. What does that leave with Max? Some people are saying that gives Mac a year to sit behind Brady and really learn. Some are saying Mac would be a part of a trade, whether that's back to the Bucks for Brady or Brady goes on the free and Mac is used as leverage. I don't know, but even if in a hypothetical world Tom Brady does come in and he's got all the experience in the world, he's got all the success in the world, he has won more Super Bowls than any NFL team, let alone any other player. So he knows the back of his hand, the scheme, the success, and how to get it done. I still would not want Matt Patricia as his offensive coordinator. So
Even with Brady.
Even if Brady was leading that offense, and he could just say, "Look, fuck off at me here," similar to what Mac did on Monday. Like, the ball's on Mac to do that, but it's got to be so frustrating for Mac Jones, because I've said it since he came in. I like him. I'm a fan of him. When Josh McDaniels allowed him to open up a bit more and go a bit more deep in the second half of the season, he was in the top 3 quarterbacks for stats on deep passes. So he's got the ability, but he's now stuck and he's now lumped with a defensive coordinator who was so unsuccessful at the Lions and created a negative culture, which has took Dan Campbell such a long time to turn around. And we're now starting to see that over this last few weeks and really start to pay off the work that he's done. And it's, like you said, Sam, he's regressing so hard. Oh, brilliant. He's regressing so much, but he's playing an offense that's leaning on screen passes and, inside runs and all this bullshit, which it's not going to work. And we're going to end up completely destroying a great talent. If we go into this season's over, like you said with Packers, Sam, we're in the hunt for scraping a wild card spot, but we're not going to do anything. If we go into next season, whether it's Brady, whether it's Mac Jones, I do hope it's Mac Jones. I love Tom Brady. We all know about my fandom for Tom Brady, but we've got to move on. And
I can't see him myself. I really can't see that.
I can't. It is just rumours at this point, but you never know. But yeah, if we go into next season and Matt Patricia is still the offensive coordinator, or we've not took genuine, serious steps to really buy into Matt Jones, we might as well trade him and get leverage for other positions, because he's never going to be he's never going to be able to reach the potential that he's got and play the ability that he's capable of playing at. So yeah, that's my rant. At Vegas have seen a little bit of form over this last few weeks. They've won 3 out of the last 5. I think it'll be a shit game, to be honest. I think under 40 points, a lot of field goals. So get your Carlsons and get your Nick Folks in for your fantasy teams this week if you can. And yeah, just a really, really boring game. So yeah, I don't even know who will win. I think I'll go Patriots winning, just to put my name to the result.
Fair enough. Let's move on to the locks of the week then. Seeing as we started with Sam last time, this time we'll start with you, Skin.
You not fancy it, mate?
No, we're going to stick to the same order as the first one.
Fair enough, mate. I appreciate that. My lock this week, I'm going to go for one of the early kickoffs, 6 p.m. on Sunday. And I'm going to go for the 12-1 Philadelphia Eagles to win at Soldier Field.
You bastard.
Yeah, that was mine.
Chicago Bears. Sorry, lads. I think, I know we've started to make the joke of the lock of the week as whoever is playing the Texans, this week being the Kansas City Chiefs, who are a very good backup, lads, depending on who's next. But yeah, I think for me, I'm going to have to back the MVP in waiting, Jalen Hurts, to lead the Eagles to another win and go 13-1.
Fair enough.
Nice.
I'm not 100% sure who to go for next. I felt like part of me is leaning towards going for the Vikings, but they let me down last week. They've got the Colts this week. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I'm going to go Vikings again.
Down.
Oh my God! There's a lock.
There's a lock against the Colts.
That makes
you
me
playing
feel
with
badly.
Sam's money here.
That makes me feel. It's my money here, mate.
Why shouldn't I go Vikings against Colts?
It's like Terry's money, isn't it? Trying to get Terry's money or Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah. Look, it's Vikings at 6 o'clock. If there's any time that Kirk Cousins can perform, it's Sunday 6 o'clock when nobody's watching. So,
mate, no. Saturday at 6 o'clock, baby.
Is it
fun?
Yeah, there's 3 games on Saturday. So you've got the.
Oh shit! Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so
it's
Vikings Colts at 6 our time.
Yep.
Then it's Browns Ravens at 9:30, and then at 1:15 in the morning.
Saturday night football
is Bills Dolphins. 3 games, baby. Saturday. Let's go.
I'm away Saturday. I'm I'm the only bloke in Britain that's going to Skegness in the middle of December. So
what is that about?
Well, I'll give you the story now, just for our listeners. My lovely lady DG, it's her birthday on Saturday. She's going to be 35 years old. Lucky me, you know I love the older ones.
Happy future birthday, DG. Love you.
Happy future birthday indeed. And yeah, she one of her favourite films is Aladdin. And
Nice.
when we took the kids to Skeg in the summer, you know how they have the leaflets all about what's happening and going off because of being at tour. They had Aladdin in Panto, so we made the joke of the first time it's on is on Saturday on her birthday. We made the joke about coming. She seemed like she was up for it. So we're going to go to Skeg in the middle of December, get pissed, and go sit front row at pantomime.
I love it. It's going to be like a fucking ghost town.
Yeah, it's going to be. We have got a hotel though, because as you would expect, there's absolutely no caravans available. Smack dab in
all
the
full
middle
of damp.
December. Yeah, thankfully the hotel has got a restaurant as well, so we can eat while we're there. But yeah, I didn't realise there was Saturday night football, so good. I'm going to miss that. But yeah, sorry, Sam. Turns out people will be watching the Vikings this week, so
I don't even know. I don't even know if I want to stick by him now. You've kind of put me off the idea.
You've
committed, mate. You're done. This is all part of me being a bit iffy on this. You never back the early kickoff, do you? We know that. And
never back the early kickoff.
Look, mate, I didn't realise it was Saturday at 6 o'clock, to be fair. So I'll hold my hands up on that one. But I don't see why the Vikings beating the Colts is an issue.
Go on.
No, as far as the result concerned, it's not an issue. As far as my £10 is concerned, it's a massive issue. And I will
cost
go
of living crisis, Aggie.
Cost of living, you know what I mean?
I'm going to food shop.
I'm going to have to bet £5 now. My lock of the week, it was going to be the Eagles to win against the Bears. I think that's very comfortable, and it's a good pick from Dawson. Back up. And I'm going to jinx my boys here. I'm backing my boys, the Packers, to win on Monday Night Football at home against the Rams.
Lock?
How is that any different to me going for the Vikings over the Colts?
Lock. My reason being, they've got Baker in there. He's still learning that
offensive player of the week last week, by the way.
He was.
Just give that a shout out. After we spoke about him at the end of the review show. But yeah, sorry, carry on.
No, that's fair. He deserves that shout out. But I'm going for the Packers to beat the Rams. I think the Rams are just all kinds of banged up, especially at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
They're going to come into Lambeau. It's going to be cold. The Packers, it's every game's a playoff game. That's what they keep saying now. And if they're really serious about making a late push, then they've got to beat the Rams. It's simple as that. I'm going to jinx them again. We normally seem to have the Rams number in Lambeau. We normally, famous last words.
You don't want to win,
does he? Yourself over.
Rams don't travel well to Lambeau. They never seem to. So I'm going to back my boys here at home to see off the Rams, and that is my lock.
Bosh, lock it in.
Wow. Okay. Moving on to player then. Sam, we'll start with you.
My scorer, I am going to go into the game that I fancied being my lock, and I'm going to go AJ Brown to score against the Bears. 10 touchdowns already this year. I think he's going to get 11.
Nice. I've got two names down, and I'm going to go away from both of those. And I'm going to go with.
He's fucking bottled it now.
I have.
We're in his head.
It's ruined me. I'm going to go with Isaiah Pacheco for the Chiefs. Against
Love
the Texans. Ranked number 32 against the run. The Texans are just poor on all sides of things. So I'm going to back Pacheco to get a touchdown. Skin?
Fair enough, mate. I am going to venture out a little bit this week and go for a potential, not sort of one of your contenders that you would normally expect. I'm going to go for Keenan Allen for the LA Chargers against Tennessee Titans. Keenan Allen missed quite a bit at the start of the season through injury. Chargers, to be fair to them, are banged up. They've literally got under half. Yeah, they've got just under half their squad with some kind of injury at the minute in terms of their starting lineup. So they're banged up. They're still just about getting results. They beat the Miami Dolphins last week. But Keenan Allen, in his best game so far this season, 14 targets, caught 12 of them, so 12 receptions for 92 yards. So Mr. Reliable in terms of that Chargers wide receiver core, which is very strong, including Mike Williams, Eckler, a threat out the backfield in the passing game as well. Tennessee Titans are the worst team in the NFL at defending the pass. So I think Herbert can get a couple of touchdowns this weekend. And I think Keenan Allen in the red zone can get himself a nice little slant route catch and nail me the scorer of the week.
Nice one. We'll stick with you then, Skin, to go for your wild card.
I'm going for the Lions. That's it. I'm getting in quick after having them snatched away from me last week. I know I still got it right going for the Panthers as backup. But looking at Lions' recent form has been absolutely fantastic. Looking at their running, they've really got a genuine chance of sneaking in one of those last wildcard spots. But they've won 4 out of the last 5. Jets, not in the best of form, but they are still the favourites. But yeah, I think, again, gritty Lions going into the cold of New York City or New Jersey, technically. But I'll go with Lions as my wild card this week, and hopefully they'll win 2 weeks in a row.
Fair enough. I've been unsure. I got them as my backup, to be fair, but I've been quite unsure, similar to anything I've gone for so far this week. But I'm going to go with the Falcons to beat the Saints.
Ooh.
The Falcons win, and with a Bucs loss, which is a very realistic chance against the Bengals, I think Falcons can go second, potentially first, or at least joint first in the NFC South. That division's not the greatest. Saints are currently sat at the bottom.
Absolutely shocking.
And it looks at the moment that whoever goes through is on a losing record, which I'm not sure you guys might know a bit more than this than me. Has that ever happened?
When was the last time it happened? It will have happened, boy.
What was last time? What happened?
A team made the playoffs with a losing record.
Well, at least won the division. Anyway.
I think the Commanders did it not long back when it was the dead NFC East. I'm pretty sure they won the division on a 7-9.
Yeah, but NFC East was absolutely ripe for that not too long ago, weren't it? So that's a fair shout.
Well, now it's moved to the South, so I'm going to go with the Falcons to beat the Saints in an NFC South game. Sam?
Yes, well, this is the reason why I've been a little bit sweaty on your Vikings, because I have written down the Colts as a wild card, and I'm still not quite sure if I want to take them or not, because my backup is the Jags to beat the Cowboys.
Oh, commit to one, mate.
It is, isn't it? It's either the Colts to beat the Vikings or the Jags to beat the Cowboys. So they've almost got identical records between them. Vikings 10-3, Cowboys 10-3, Jags 5-8, Colts 4-8-1 with the tie. So there's literally a tie in it between the 4 teams. And you're going to push me. I've got to pick one. So I am going to go purely for the fact that I don't want to back against our locks. I'll be backing money on it. So I'm going to pick my backup, which is the Jags to beat the Cowboys.
Oh, go on and give us your reasoning. What made you highlight that one?
What?
What made you highlight the Jags to beat Cowboys, considering the form that Cowboys are in?
Yeah, sorry, it's purely down to Trevor Lawrence. I think I've seen him come on leaps and bounds over this last couple of weeks, and it's a wild card's a wild card. It's something that you're picking the underdog at the end of the day, and I think Trevor Lawrence, from what I have seen, I think he's got something in his locker that could upset the Cowboys. Myself.
Fair enough. Do you want to go through Mudges?
Right. Okay. So Mudge has had a lock of the Chiefs. Wild card, he did have the Lions, but we're going to get Dawson that, I think. So
yeah,
sorry, no, because in the interest of fairness, we should let him have that. But I've got to change my football ones.
Yeah, because it's funny making you scramble for a pick.
It is funny. We're like watching you sweat.
And
his touchdown scorer is Devonta Smith, his boy from the Eagles. So, yeah, Chiefs and Devonta Smith. And unfortunately, Mudge, sorry, can't have the Lions, mate. Dawson's took them. So.
I'm surprised he didn't go for the Eagles to be the best, to be fair. Last week he was all in on the Eagles.
Yeah,
everything
to be honest, so. I thought that when I was going through my locks, and I had Eagles for that reason, because I seen he'd not pick them, which surprised me. So, just to recap then, adding all 8 locks to my ACCA this week.
Are you including Mudges as well, yeah? You committed to it?
I've included it, mate. Yeah,
nice.
I've included it. So that would be Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Leyton Orient, Argentina to lift the trophy,
nice.
The Minnesota Vikings, which I'm sweating on, the Green Bay Packers, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Kansas City Chiefs. If you want to back that as your ACCA, you can get it as an 8-fold at 33.7 to 1.
Nice.
So a nice tenner on that. That'll be putting on.
348 quid.
300, yeah, just about 350 quid. So we'll be cheering that on.
Just a question on the back of the Vikings. I know you said you're sweating on it, but if you're sweating on it, but then you've chosen the Colts as your first choice. Granted, you've gone against it because I've gone Vikings, but why were you unsure about the Colts? You said at the beginning of it you're unsure about it.
The reason why I was unsure about it is because I think the Vikings are the biggest 10-3 frauds I've ever seen in my life. I
Yeah, I agree, mate. 100%. I don't think you really need to go into it too much more, do you?
I think
it's so weird.
-1. I think points differential.
Yeah,
Differential in the NFL is massive. Like it's a big stat, and it's you'll see all your big teams with at least about a +40 point differential at this point in the season. The Vikings have -1, which is absolutely crazy for a 10-3 team. It shows that they've been in a lot of close games. They've barely won when they have won, and they've had a lot of blowouts. That's what that means. They've lost heavily quite a few times. 10-3. This is why the Colts, for me, they've got every right. They've got Jonathan Taylor. He needs to book his ideas up. He's had an absolutely shocking season. But no, I just think they've got that upset in them. I think they're at home as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Are you sure you don't want to change last minute from Cowboys to Jags?
No, we can't change. Colts. I can't change.
No, I'm not going to change. I'm going to keep the Jags, but I think I've got more than a fair reason why I'm slightly sweating on your Vikings pick.
Okay, that's fair enough. I just wondered. That's all. Cool.
It's like deja vu, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
I think I called him a glass cannon, didn't I, a couple of weeks back, and you said you like the terminology.
Yeah.
All firepower, no substance. Just that's it, and that's exactly what they have been for the last few weeks. They've proved me right, and I'm really not confident in the Vikings, and I think they could quite easily spiral down the stretch. I've not seen their run up. I've not seen the run in. Let me just have a
play New Boys again, won't they? I don't think.
They definitely will be.
Giants, Packers, Bears.
There you go.
Not
the hardest then, but a couple of tough games there, Giants and Packers, but should be the Bears,
obviously. But it should be the Bears last game of the season.
Look, lads, week 15 now, so only 54 weeks of regular season football to go. We've got Saturday night football this week. We've got Saturday fucking Red Zone next week, with Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day football as well.
What a treat!
They're playing out this time. I believe it's the Browns, so correct me if I'm wrong. That might have been last year.
That was last year, Christmas Day.
Christmas Day, yeah. So Packers playing again 9:30. So yeah, we've got a really good couple of weeks of sociable football action, and then we're going into the last 2 weeks of the regular season, and I can't wait to see that wildcard weekend lineup and us to really get stuck into
just on that
predictions.
You've just made me look there. So we are still playing on Christmas Day. That's 2 Christmas days in a row now. She's going to go.
Yeah, I knew you were.
Mad.
I knew you were.
Going to go mad.
So
we're playing at 6 o'clock and all. It's even early. I think we played at 9:30. So it's
should have top of the pops on at that time, mate.
Yeah, it's Dolphins and all. It's going to be a right tasty affair.
That's a big game, that.
Oh God, she's going to go mad.
There we go.
Bless her. Don't let her listen to this episode, mate. Just break the news for 5 to 6 Christmas Day.
You can list at football, but I'll cut it at NFL.
Yeah. When you're at mum and dad's having a bit of an evening buffet and you're like trying to sneak like, we need to go, and you're playing up like dodgy stomach game and all that shit to get out of the door.
Yeah.
See it coming.
Fair enough. Classic.
Lads, thanks very much for joining me to go through the NFL.
Whoa. I think we've forgot something, haven't we?
Have we?
Mr. Skin, do you want to take the question away?
Mr. Sam, I can, mate, but I'll be honest, I'm not prepared, so I'm going to have to... It doesn't matter, mate.
Question of the episode.
Question of the episode, indeed, and I'm gonna give this one to you.
I've gone for a while.
Oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be so bad. Right, okay. Would you rather...
Would I rather?
You slated the vegans earlier.
Oh, no.
So, would you rather enter into a sexual relationship with a vegan who likes pouring milk out in shops and all that shit?
Oh, God. A protesting vegan, the worst.
A protesting vegan. Or would you rather go over to Thailand and find yourself a nice...
Give me that Bangkok chick boy, baby.